friends, welcome back to Julia at Home. In this video, I'm going to share with you a really easy way to enhance your nature journal, or if you haven't started a nature journal yet, a really easy way to get into nature journaling. These are adding bird and wildflower lists. So it might seem strange to start the bird and wildflower lists now because it is so cold and snowy outside. However, this is a perfect time to do this because with the birds especially, because you can see what birds are around during the winter, and then you can track which birds come back when, and like which ones come back first and when they come back. I love every year when I hear the red-winged blackbirds, and I think they usually come back sometime in March. So I'm looking forward to that, and I want to have my bird list ready to go. I've also been identifying some winter birds around here. We've had a few flocks of horned larks, as well as a couple snow buntings mixed in, which are so fun to see. And I did not know what either of those birds were before. So I want to get my bird list started so I can put those in and I can be ready for this 2023 year. And then while I'm doing it, I am also going to start my wildflower list. You can see how I do that. I'll be looking for those more when the ground thaws, but it's just easier to get them both set up together. And generally for the wildflower list, I just include actual wildflowers, not the ones that I necessarily planted in my garden, although I don't really limit my kids if they want to add those. I'm going to change the shot here so you can see how I am setting these up in my nature journal. So here are my supplies. I have my nature journal here. This is a Canson mixed media notebook. I'll link it below. And I found out it holds up pretty well to watercolors. It's not watercolor paper, so you don't want to soak it, but just in case you want to use it as watercolors in your nature journal, I'm going to find a fresh page here. I'll just leave it like that. I also have a pen and a pencil and a ruler, and I have some washi tape, which is not necessary, but I like to use it, and I'll show you how in a minute. So I'm going to start with my bird list, and it always kind of scares me to use pen first, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do bird list. (2023). Okay. Please excuse my handwriting. For this, I'm going to use pencil because I want to make sure I have enough room in case I need to move stuff along. So here is what I like to add. I'm putting the name of the bird first, and I like to note the common name and then the scientific or Latin name as well. I like to note what family it is in. I like to learn how different things are connected to each other in nature. So I like doing that. And then I will put the date I saw it, where I saw it, and then I'll put any other notes with kind of my where. So I like to leave a good amount of space for that. So then we need to do nice lines in here, which is not always super easy. And if it's not perfect, it's fine. Let's not be a perfectionist about everything. Good is better. Done is better than perfect, right? I keep telling myself that all the time because I do fight some perfectionism. But this is where the ruler really is useful here. So again, you don't need as much room for the date, obviously. So I try to give things enough space. I'm actually just going to use a little bit of this washi tape here, I think. You could do it down. I think in the past I've done these lines in washi tape, but it does take up more room. So I'm just going to do it like that for right now. This is just to add a little color and fun. Again, not necessary. You could also come in with paints or colored pencils, however you want to do it to make it your own. It would be wonderful. So, and then I actually I go back and forth. Last year I didn't add lines. I think before I did. I might just add a few here, and I might add more as I go. And again, you could measure so that they're all like the perfect same amount of space. And I only have a little bit of time to do this before I have to feed a bunch of children, so we're just going to do this for right now. And then let me share with you how I would use it. So I'm going to get my phone out for a second. I saw the horned lark. Let's see if you can see that. I I identified those the other day. It took me a really long time to identify them actually. And I'm gonna go to this website here. This helped me identify it before. This is on allaboutbirds.org. And it has some really interesting information here. And if you were feeling so inclined and had the time, you could just do a whole page on them once you ID them, which would be really fun. But they're called the horned lark because they have those little feathers that sometimes look like horns. Hoping this is all clear. Okay, I am not finding the scientific name on this, so I'm going to go a different route. Horned lark. So it looks like Wikipedia actually often has this information. So I'm on Wikipedia. It's Aramophila alpestris. Okay, handwriting is getting a little shaky there. We can come back to that later. So its family is... oh, I'm spelling that wrong. That's an AU. Today. So... Aludidae? This is an A. Okay. Trying to think of which exact day I identified them. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I've been seeing them many days, so I saw somewhere this morning. So I believe today is the 5th, so I'm just gonna put that down, even though I did see them earlier in the year. And I saw them in and around my driveway. So that's how I use this, and I just fill it in as I can. And the best use of the washi tape is actually, now I'm going to take this one and I keep hurting my fingers, so band-aids all around. I like to use this to mark the edge of the page, and that way it's easy to find. The first time I did it, I put it in the back of my nature journal. I still did this. Now I like to kind of put it, because my nature journal is getting used for several years now. We don't use it as much just during this phase of life I'm in. I'm hoping to get back to using it more. But I have it in the front section of 2023 for me. So I'm going to do this. Oh, see if I can show you, hopefully. Hopefully you can mostly see what I'm doing. You should get the idea. Oh, it's bending on me. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on this page here. I'm going to leave this one blank in case I need to add another page. Actually, yeah, I'm going to leave 2 pages for the bird list because that can get quite long. And here I'm going to do the same thing with a wildflower list. So these are the lists that I have found I love to add, but I'm curious if you guys have other ideas on, on lists you could do or other things you do in your nature journals. You can limit this to things you've seen on your property, in your town, or just things you've seen anywhere. Like you could even include things you saw on vacation. I tend to limit these to just our general area. So if we were gonna go, somewhere else on vacation, I might not add it to the list. Being February in Vermont, it's going to be a little while till I see some of these. Maybe at some point in March we will see some bulbs popping up. There we go. Now we are ready. Simple, right? I love this activity. So you could even make it simpler. You could even use like a really cheap lined notebook if you want. You don't have to get like a fancy like notebook or journal or watercolor paper or anything like that, and just make a list. You don't have to add the scientific name, you don't have to add the family, you could just add like what bird it is, when and where you saw it, and it would still be a wonderful list and activity. And it can be really fast too, right? Like you see a bird, maybe you already know what it is, maybe you need to identify it, you just write it down, take a few minutes. Once you've got the list already set up in whatever you're using for your journal or a notebook, then you can just write it down and it should only take a few minutes. You could make it more elaborate. You could, have your nature journal, and you could then do a page and even draw or watercolor the bird and learn more about it and its habitat and its features. And you could make it as expansive as a study as you want, or you can make it as simple as you want. And in this phase of life, I tend to go the simple route. As they get older and we have fewer little people running around at our feet, we may add in more of that more elaborate thing, but it doesn't need to be. I hope you are all well and can find some time to do something you love. Maybe it's nature journaling, maybe it's something else. Until next time, friends. Bye. Oh, the baby's on my back. Oh, the baby's on my back. We love you, buddy.